I want to use today's debate to highlight an oral history learnt at my mum's knee about the matchwomen of London's East End who took control of their lives, set ablaze a fire of trade union activism that not only secured better conditions at work for themselves, but inspired an era of labour organisation that would see workers' rights entrenched and a political party of Labour founded. These courageous, poor, ill-educated women worked in appalling circumstances at the Bryant and May factory in East London. And in 1888, they came out on strike to secure safer working conditions. Yet their story's been misrepresented. Their impact on the early days of the labour movement underestimated. They weren't the ones who were writing the histories. Their victory is attributed to Annie Besant, not a version that I heard from my mum. In fact, she'd never heard of Annie Besant. But let's give Annie her due. She'd done much to highlight the horrific working conditions at the factory. But Annie was opposed to the strike. She tried to dissuade the women from going on strike. She feared for them. But the version of history, the one where defenceless waves of London's underclass, rescued by the principled, sympathetic middle-class champions, has been comprehensively debunked by the amazing, remarkable, redoubtable author Louise Raw. In her brilliant book, Striking a Light, she meticulously details just how the matchwomen, led by 5 workers, Alice Francis, Kate Slater, Mary Driscoll, Jane Wakelin and Eliza Martin. They knew their own minds. They designed their own tactics. They led their own movement. They forged their own history. They are the true leaders of the matchwomen strike. And witnesses at the time were in no doubt of the significance of the event. The Star newspaper reported the victory of the girls is complete. It was won without preparation, without organisation, without funds. It is a turning point in the history of our industrial development. But the true story of the matchwomen is so much more than just proud local women's history. These women were and are integral to our national story. History records it was the heroic London dockers of 1889 that spurred the foundation of the labour movement. But the record needs to be clear. It was London's working-class women a year earlier who were the vital spark of trade unions. The men learned from the women. They learned from their mothers, their wives, their sisters, their daughters and their neighbours. John Burns, a leading trade unionist at the time, told the striking dockers, "Men, stand shoulder to shoulder. Remember the match girls who won their fight and formed a union." Today, the leaders' names have now echoed in this chamber, but it ain't enough. I want a blue plaque on the site recognising the true leaders of the matchwomen strike and the 1,400 women who came together to withdraw their labour, demanding and winning safer and fairer working conditions. A plaque to remember the women who organised, who fought, who won against massive odds, women who were instrumental in the founding of a political labour movement and that continues to fight for a fair pay and for conditions for all of Britain's workers.
Here.